Tenerife may have a reputation for mass tourism, but in fact, away from the resorts on the south coast, you'd be hard pushed to find a crowd. Accompanied by local guide Jose Ramon, travel writer Jane Dunford takes a look at the other side of Tenerife. The lush valleys and traditional towns of the north, the beautiful coastline and the volcanic landscapes.
Behind me here is Mount Teide, the highest mountain in Spain. When you come up to the national park, you're surrounded by evidence of volcanic activity wherever you look. It really is spectacular. But wherever you go on the island, you'll be aware of the volcanic origins. Obviously in the dramatic landscape, but also in the food, in the buildings, in fact, in all aspects of life in Tenerife.
Volcanic soil, it turns out, is incredibly good for growing all kinds of exotic crops. Aside from its most famous export, Tenerife is building a steady following for its wines. A tour of one of the many bodegas is a great way to find your favourite. And to get the bird's eye view of the vineyards and banana plantations, how about this as a holiday experience?
Wow! Oh my God! Wow, that's amazing. Can see for miles, hey?
Back down to earth, but still with breathtaking scenery on the agenda, Jane headed to the northeast corner of the island and the Anaga Rural Park. On the coastline from the tiny hamlet of Taganana, the jagged cliffs and rocky outcrops provide a spectacular coastal drive. But inland, it's all about the very special forest, as local guide Jose Ramon explains.
This is called laurisilva. It actually means laurel forest. And is a very special vegetation because, according to experts, this is the type of forest that stretched out the south of Europe and north of Africa before ice ages. So in other words, experts have found here fossil trees and plants in the south of Europe and north of Africa that in this forest they're still alive.
Oh. So it's very different from the rest of the island, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Because the island is not that old, this is completely different. Volcanic activity stopped on this region about 3 million years ago. So we're visiting one of the oldest volcanic regions on Tenerife.
Heading east to west, there's some fascinating towns and villages to explore. Santa Cruz, of course, is the capital, but nearby is La Laguna, the oldest settlement on Tenerife. In 2007, the Historic Centre was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and many of the buildings have been beautifully restored. It's a really lovely place to wander around and explore. Another town not to miss on the north coast is Garachico. More volcanic connections here, as this was once the island's most important port until it was destroyed by an eruption in 1706.
I think people would be really surprised about the places in the north. Places like Garachico, Orotava, La Laguna, they're just some really authentic, gorgeous places to stay. The Canarian architecture, it's beautiful old buildings, quite plain facades, and then you go inside and there's these lovely courtyards. It's very atmospheric. Gracias. Wandering around the town, there's just little windy streets, beautiful old squares. It's just charming.
From Garachico, it's a short drive to yet another spectacular area, the Taino Rural Park, occupying the entire northwest corner of Tenerife. Formed over 7 million years ago, Taino is effectively an island within an island, with dramatic inland cliffs, ravines and gorges. At the heart of the park is the village of Masca.
It's very well known nowadays. As we can see, it's very scenic. But the road was only open in the early 70s, so actually Masca was not known, not even for the rest of the islanders, till the road was open in 1971.
I guess the hiking in this area must be incredible.
That's the main thing. They can hike from Masca to all different places, towards the coastline, towards the mountains, and wherever you go here, there's always something that will surprise you. There is a beautiful path that links the village with the seafront. Once you get down to the seafront, what you have is these sheer cliffs, los gigantes, the giants we call them, because those are the biggest cliffs.
It has to be one of the most spectacular views on the island.
Yeah, definitely is.
And of course, aside from the amazing scenery on land, the surrounding ocean has its own surprises. The diving here is world-renowned. With the flyover experience, even complete novices can take to the water for an assisted one-to-one dive. More stars of the ocean are just a short boat trip away.
We're going to go 2-3 miles far away. We're going to find the pilot whale.
Pilot whales.
Pilot
So
whales.
how likely are we to see them?
In this part of the island, we have like 500-600 of these whales around here all year. We see them every day. This is one of the best places in the world to see whales and dolphins because we can see 30 different types.
Usually I'd think of seeing whales, you know, wrapped up warm, maybe out in Canada, but this is just lovely. The sun's shining, the sea is so calm, just waiting for the whales to appear. There they are. Oh my God, they're so close to the boat. I've seen 3, and again, and again. You felt like you could reach out and touch them almost. It's so exciting. You could come to Tenerife and spend your time on the beach, but there's so much more to see and do, especially exploring the volcanic landscape. And whatever you do, don't miss the chance to come out on the water and spot the whales. It's absolutely amazing.